Good day, students, and thank you for joining us today for Stepping Out of Your Comfort Zone webinar. My name is Bianca, and I'm a registered counsellor from Student Counselling and Development, Vaal campus. And joining me today is Johnry, industrial psychologist from Potchefstroom campus, and Onogile, registered counsellor from Mahikeng campus. So today's topic will cover the following outcomes. What is a comfort zone? The benefits of stepping out of your comfort zone, why we stay in our comfort zones, challenging your comfort zone, some further reading material, where to find us, a Q&A session, and some extra resources. So I would like to start off by asking you a few questions. Do you sometimes feel stuck in your routine and set patterns? Do you feel like there is more out there for you? Or do you want to be the best version of yourself? If the answer to any of these questions is yes, this webinar is just right for you. Breaking out of your comfort zone has many benefits, and with a little understanding and a few adjustments, you can break from your routine and do some amazing things. The science behind your comfort zone is not so difficult to understand. We like to be in environments where we experience low levels of anxiety and stress. These levels are, however, not the same for every person, and they vary from one individual to the next. So what might be a very anxious situation for you might be easy breezy for the next person. Our comfort zone is a behavioral space where activities and behavior fit a routine and pattern that minimizes risk and provide us with mental security. We tend to benefit most from a comfort zone when we experience regular happiness, low anxiety, and reduced stress. It is when we get stuck in these low stress environments that we sometimes become stagnant, stuck in a rut. We become content with that 60% in academics, the relationship where things are just fine, and that sense that we can do better, but we cannot see yet why change. The answer is optimal anxiety. Yes, anxiety can be good for us, sometimes, and in controlled doses. When we reach a state where we are experiencing some anxiety, it gets us moving. That inner drive that says, no, that 60 is no longer what I want. Let me push for a 70 instead. When we reach optimal anxiety, we start doing things differently. We accept a challenge. It is, however, important not to push too hard. Optimal anxiety can easily transform into distress, which breaks us down and hinders us from performing at all. Remember that your comfort zone is neither good nor bad. It is a neutral, natural state, but nothing really happens there. It is very important to remember that we don't all grow at the same speed or in the same environments. And we have to be patient with ourselves when we challenge our comfort zones. Just like our comfort zones all look different, the change process also looks different depending on who you are and where you are heading. So you might be asking yourself right about now, so why would I want to leave a space where it's nice and relaxed and that feels safe? Well, next up, Onogile will help you to understand more about the benefits of leaving your comfort zone and why sometimes we choose to stay there. Thanks, Oni.
Thank you, Bianca. When we talk about leaving a comfort zone, there are three things that we're going to highlight. The first one is the need to uproot and move. The second one is for a person to realize that mediocrity is not for them. And lastly, it's a realization and the understanding that the only constant is change. It is very easy to get stuck in your comfort zone because it is a place where you're comfortable to be in. It is a place where you don't get challenged. It is a place where you feel that you are at your optimum best. even though you sometimes do see and realize that you need to grow and you need to develop. Therefore, it is important that we remember that uprooting and moving does not, it's a scary process. However, we don't need to now be scared to just get up and move, because the uprooting and moving has its own benefits. Because such as finding ourselves in a different space and learning more about ourselves and growing into becoming the people who we want to be. The second realization that's important for us to note is that mediocrity is not for you. The moment we decide to move past our comfort zone and into the unknown, we decide to be more. We take a risk, and we realize that we should not settle for anything less than what we deserve. Even with the fear of failing, it is important that you tell yourself that taking on this whole new experience with everything that it may hold in store is super important. Because in that space, you get to challenge yourself, you get to grow, you get to learn, you get to make mistakes, and you get to also accumulate knowledge that is good for you. And lastly, it's important to realize that the only thing that will be comfortable, that will be constant in you living your comfort zone is change. Stepping out into the unknown, into the unknown world, it can be scary. However, it comes with the benefit of constantly learning and constantly adapting and changing. And that makes a person versatile. That makes a person learn to understand that they have a lot of different versions of themselves, and that they do not have to only accept what they know about themselves, but also be willing to change and be the best that they can be. The benefits of also leaving the comfort zone, it encourages proactiveness. It makes adapting to new situations that are unexpected and different a lot more easier. It also helps a person feel a lot more comfortable with pushing beyond boundaries, with challenging boundaries, with challenging stereotypes, with challenging the norms that they often find themselves in. And also, it helps them get a bit of motivation to actually do things that are out of the ordinary in order for them to be able to secure the future that they want. It also makes it so much easier to brainstorm and be creative, because when you leave your comfort zone, you'd shed off the boundaries and the limitations that you had before. So why do we stay in our comfort zone? Even though the magic happens outside of our comfort zone, it is still a safe environment to return to appreciate, so that we can appreciate the safe, comfortable space to process some of the experiences of stepping out of the comfort zone. Stepping out of the comfort zone should be a bit challenging, and it is important that you don't let stepping out become a commonplace and boring. It is important that you continue to challenge the different avenues of your life, challenge yourself to do things differently and to experience new things, but know that your old friend, the comfort zone, wait, what's happening?
Hi students, One is just experiencing some technical difficulties and she will be back momentarily. Thanks for your patience. Okay, I think I will continue in her stead and then Johnny will just continue with her place. So as One was saying, stepping out of your comfort zone should be a bit challenging. Don't let it become a commonplace and boring. Continue challenging different avenues of your life. Challenge yourself to do things differently and to experience new things. But know that your old friend, the comfort zone, is there for you when you need to recharge and reflect. Your comfort zone is like your room. It's comfy and cozy, but you can't stay there all day, or at least not all day every day. You need to leave at some point to go out and do things and experience the world out there. But you know at the end of the day that that cozy, comfy room is still there after a hard day of being an awesome you. So next up, it is John Lee with telling us the sorry, challenging your comfort zone. Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you, Bianca. Okay, so in terms of challenging your comfort zone, Bianca did tap into some of the things there. And what I wanted to point out is that stepping out of your comfort zone, it should be a challenge. Remember the first time you did something new, something different. You had this insane anxiety that you experienced. You thought this whole world was going to end. Maybe speaking in front of a crowd or public speaking, you felt literally the sweat was dripping, you were stuttering, you didn't know what to do. Because it was an out of your challenge or out of your comfort zone experience. But we need to do that. We need to grow as a person and to step out of our comfort zone so that we can grow and that things can get easier for us. So you know that the first time you actually spoke in front of somebody or a group, it was crazy. The next time you do it, it's a bit better because you know, okay, this was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And as Bianca said, your comfort zone is like your room. It's good there. It's safe. It's a safe space for you. But you cannot stay there every single day. You need to go out. You need to put yourself out there and then come back to your comfort zone, maybe at night, reflect, get some energy, and revitalize. So in terms of challenging your comfort zone, that is the one thing that we are trying to teach the students, is that you are in the best time of your life and in the best space and in the best environment for you to get out of your comfort zone. So you might need to ask yourself today, what can I do right now in this week to challenge my comfort zone? And remember, the thing is, we always think, okay, myself included, we always think, oh, we have to go bungee jumping at Bloubergstrand, I think. We have to go zip lining. We have to go skydiving. These are the major events in our lives that we need to do to get out of our comfort zone. And that is not necessarily the truth and the best way. Stepping out of our comfort zone, it begins small because we have to, as a person, build our reserves. We have to build the confidence to do bigger things. So we start off small. It doesn't have to be a life-changing. It can be as simplistic as going to a restaurant and eating a different meal, reading a different type of book that you are used to. Maybe you love the self-help type of books and you need to go and challenge yourself to read fiction or, fill the blank, a different style. So everything you ever wanted is one step outside of your comfort zone. So let's put a little bit more, or let's use this picture as an illustration of stepping out of our comfort zone. So in our comfort zones, we are safe, we are protected. Then, as soon as we have decided, okay, we want to challenge ourselves a bit, we go into a fear zone, the fear zone, where all of these things are racing through our mind. What if I am going to make a mistake? What if this is not what I should be doing? But I don't have time to do this. Maybe this is not something I should be doing. You know that we always say, no, sure, it doesn't feel right. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. We are affected by others' opinions. We find excuses, and we just have this lack of self-confidence. But it only takes one instance and one change to move out of the fear zone, something small, and into the learning zone. So from the fear zone, we have conquered fear, which is one of the major things we have to do. We go into the learning zone. So we now say, we change our mindset to say, okay, we are acquiring new skills. So this what has happened. I'm not going to see it. Let's say, for example, I failed, or I feel I didn't present as good as I should have been with my public speaking. It's a learning zone for me. It's not the fear zone. I conquered the fear zone. It's learning. I'm dealing now with the challenges and problems. I'm dealing with the fact that, okay, maybe this was not the best experience for me, but it's okay. It is okay where I am. I'm extending my comfort zone. And then when we really truly step out of our comfort zone, when we challenge ourselves, when we honestly say, okay, let me try this, we go into the growth zone. This is the place, this is the best place to be at. This is the place where we conquer our objectives, we find purpose and meaning, we live our dreams, and we set new goals. So how does this actually practically look like? Or what can you actually physically do, comfort zone 101, to get out of your comfort zone, to get yourself out of that mindset of, sure, I'm not where I want to be. I do not like this place in my life. I feel I'm living a mediocre life. I need adventure. So this is like some examples for the comfort zone challenge task list. This is not the only items on the list. You can make up your own list, and that is something I'm actually challenging you to do as I'm speaking. Select 3 things that you will be doing differently within the next 2 weeks. It can either be do one thing you're afraid of to do in this week. So go and decide what are some of the things I'm really afraid of. I am afraid myself, I'm speaking of myself, to go alone and drink coffee at Mug and Bean. I do not like that. But I need to conquer that, so I am going to go and drink coffee at Mug and Bean. Do something you might not like. Go walking. Give something special away to someone. So go find something that is not sentimental in your house or in your life or in your framework, and give something special away to someone. Go somewhere you haven't been before. Smile at least 4 strangers this week. As I said in the personal development webinar, be the one to smile, not the one. Be the one to smile, not the one to be smiling at. So smile so that the other person might feel, oh, shoot, I should have smiled. Compliment someone, help a stranger, learn a new word and use it. Make a list of life goals and dreams. Kick off one bad habit. So maybe that's something you're consistently doing, overthinking, speaking negatives to yourself, thinking the worst of people. Everybody is bad. Everybody just wants to be mad at or mean at me. Go and kick off one bad habit. Identify what is something that I constantly do that is keeping me in my comfort zone. Plant a tree, for example. List 3 things that you are grateful for daily. Reach out to somebody you admire. Talk to them via Instagram or social media, even if they do not reach out. Reach out to that person. Maybe research some other theories of religion or spirituality. We are so consistently comfort zone driven. We only speak what we know about. And we always think that if I do not know, I cannot talk about it. That is the thing you need to challenge yourself to say, but it's a discussion. I don't know this, but inform me. Approach someone or talk to someone who intimidates you and give them a compliment. Maybe challenge yourself to give non-generic responses to someone. So we always, when we type, we say, hello, how are you? And then we type our message. Or there's an exact wording that we always use for everything that we do. So maybe today, change your response and how you speak to people. That's something that's not life-changing. So you need to do, the basic thing is to do everyday things differently. Now, at the stage of a pandemic, we do not necessarily want to extend ourselves, or we do not want to do things completely different. We just want to do things that we used to do it differently, or do it in another way. And one thing you can ask yourself is, what is the worst that can happen? So there's always that thing that says that we always use this example when we are so afraid to fall. So the girls, we like to wear heels, and we like to maybe wear high heels. So we always think before we buy a pair, am I going to fall in this pair? So we already think to ourselves, sure, am I going to be stable on these shoes? So in our minds, we think, okay, if I had to fall, everybody's going to look at me and I will be the laughing stock of the year for the rest of the year, etc. But research actually tells us that people do not think as much about us as we actually think they do. You know, in our minds, the worst that can happen, people can laugh for 2 minutes and then they are back in their own minds thinking, sure, I'm glad it's not me. What if I ever fell? Then maybe there comes up an experience where you did fall off the stairs or something. So think about the worst thing that can happen, and it probably won't happen. So that is the pinnacle of stepping out of your comfort zone challenge, is to say the worst that you think in your mind is probably never going to happen as you think it's going to happen. So in terms of stepping out of your comfort zone, you can read some more reading material. You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, Shoe Dog, Happier, Milk and Honey, Who Moved My Cheese, The Alchemist. Those are some good books for you to read, and also some good TED Talks that you can watch going into this journey ahead for you. And what is also important is that you do not have to go through this journey alone. You can reach out. Sometimes it's just we need to talk to somebody to overcome the fear of what we want to achieve. We need that sort of a kick out of our comfort zone. And that's like, I know always of an example of a bird is that the mother kicks the baby bird out of the nest, but she's right there to catch him. She's literally right there. So maybe that's important for you to go and find somebody, even SCD is an option, that maybe just there, you need to be kicked out of the nest, but there will be definitely somebody there to assist you and to be there for you.